G'day guys, it's Simon and Kristal here from Pumped on Property, and today we're going to share a couple of coffees. We're going to talk a little bit about property and also just our mindset in relation to investing and living our best lives. So hopefully you get a little bit of a sneak peek into who we are as people, peel a few of those onion layers back and learn a little bit more about myself and Kristal. So to get things started, cheers.
Cheers.
And
I've got my Christmas cup because I'm pretty sure this is the last video of the year almost. So getting in the spirit, close to Christmas.
2023, done. So I think this is the 7th year for me in the business now. 8th year for you or 9th?
8.5 years ago, I think it was. Yeah.
Crazy, right?
I know. It's been an absolutely insane year. It's been a big one for me personally and in the business. So it's nice to kind of get to the end of the year and wrap it all up and see what we've been up to. And yeah, it's been pretty crazy.
Because when did you go on mat leave with Maggie? Was that last year or this year?
No, this year. So she was born at the end of February. I finished up at the end of January. So I pretty much wrapped everything up at the end of last year, but came back just for that final month. It was a bit of a handover and wind down. And then, Bub came at the end of February. I had 6 nice months off with her. So I came back into the business in September. First couple of months is just ironing out those creases and
getting back into it.
Yeah, getting back into it. But I feel like I've bettered down the juggle a little bit. I'm only doing a couple of days a week. So it's nice to kind of have my brain in investment mode, adult mode, working mode a couple of days a week and then get a few days off with the kids as well. But I think it's been nice actually coming back this year. I was going to wait till the new year, but then I would have taken half a year to get back into it after having that long off. So I think it's kind of been nice for me to have a few months of just skeleton hours, easing back in, and then next year I'll sort of pick things up a little bit better.
But at the end of the day, this is a business that we get to run together as a family, and, we are big advocates for investing and financial freedom and creating your best life, but we're also big advocates for living and making sure that you get to spend time with your little ones. Ben gets to spend time with his little ones, and when mine come along, I can do the same thing as well.
Yeah.
You don't want to get to 80 and then look back at your life and be like, shit, I worked too hard and I missed out on all of those good things. So I love how all three of us are very consciously aware of that. And, we've been able to design this business in a way where we get to work with amazing people and help them do amazing things, but then we also get time to do the things that we love to do and time to spend time with people that we love as well. Yeah. But we're just sort of breaking down the numbers for 2023, with this being the last video of the year. Insane. How much property have we purchased this year?
Yeah, so I just punched in one of the last properties we've recently bought, and it took us just over $50 million worth of property in 2023. Ew. So I'm super psyched with that. That's like 120 people whose lives we've changed by buying them a property. I think it was $50 million and $800 of property that we've bought this year, which I love. Like, that's what we do, and why we do it is to help people set themselves up for a better future, put themselves in a position where property is a bit of a vehicle to financial freedom. And I don't know, it's just awesome to see us like hit that last property in and was like, yes, it just went over 50 million. I think it's a nice little number to round out the year.
Yeah, because I think in June of this year, we're at about $412 million since you and Ben started the business 8 years ago, just over. And now, adding that onto that, it's we're getting up close to that $500 million worth of property purchase now, which is, insane. This is something that we really value. We really value property investing and holding these for the long term. So it's crazy, but, it's not really where we want to go as well. We want to purchase at least $1 billion worth of real estate for our clients within the business. So not even halfway to where we want to be in the longer term future. I think it's good to have those big lofty goals as well, because it keeps you motivated to stick to the path and continue doing the good work.
For sure. It's not only what we do and why we do it. I know we've donated a fair bit to charity as well.
Yeah.
I think it's been about $50,000 so far this year.
This year,
yeah. So donated $50,000 to charity, which I love. It's obviously a small portion, but we try to just remember that it's not about us and everything, there is a bigger picture there, and do what we can when we can to put in a little bit or give back a little bit.
Yeah, like we realised that we got the golden ticket, you know, born into upper middle class Australia in Sydney. You know, father was a successful business owner. So like we hit the jackpot by just being born into the family that we were born into. And we very much so recognise that is not normal.
No.
You know, the vast majority of people are, you know, really struggling. I remember when we were growing up, Mum had this cloth, and it had a bunch of different statistics on it, and it was on the back of the bathroom door. So every morning when we're doing our business, you're looking at this thing, and it was just a great reminder for how lucky we are, because it basically, what it did was like, if the world had 100 people, and it broke down how many people, and it was like over 75 people, so over 75% of the population were basically living in poverty. And it's just insane to see how lucky we are. So like investing in charity has been something that we're passionate about as a family. Like we used to go to the Cure Brain Cancer Foundation every single year. Me and Kristal and Ben, we've lost 2 uncles to brain cancer, and our grandfather to cancer as well. So it's something that was really close to our heart, and we do that every single year as a family. And, you know, since we don't really do that anymore, you know, we've started investing into some charities that we see value in. And, you know, me and Ben did a lot of research on the different charities around the world, and we partnered up with this company called Charity Water. This is a company that does so provides clean drinking water to places that don't have that. Which once again is just wild to think that like there's some people that can't even drink it. Most people can't even drink the water out of their tap.
I know.
So, you know, I think we built a well last year. We've now built a well this year as well. We'll build one every single year moving forward as well, to try and contribute to helping people have access to bloody just clean drinking water. And then the Sunny Coast one.
Yeah, so Charity Water is obviously on a global scale, but we have one that gives back here to the local community on the Sunshine Coast. It's designed to provide food, an opportunity to people that are escaping like domestic violence, some lower socioeconomic families here that just need access to affordable food, that sort of thing. So we like to just give back here as well. And I think we put some money towards them every single week, just to kind of help that charity out, because obviously not everyone is as privileged and as fortunate as us. So we do like to give back if and where we can. And both those charities sort of were close to our heart, helping people here on the Sunshine Coast and helping people globally as well.
It's a beautiful thing, you know, to get to that stage. And I think a lot of the people that we work with, they're trying to get out of the rat race and get financially free so that they can help other people and do meaningful work like this. I was talking to a girl recently, and she was young. She was like 22 years of age, and she was like, I want to be financially free by 35. And the reason she wanted to be financially free at 35 was so that she could go overseas and work in these communities and, you know, really support them. She was a doctor. Super smart person for her age, like finished school early, finished uni early, and is on that path. And it's just beautiful. And another guy, a Polynesian guy that I talked with recently, you know, same thing. He's an engineer, immigrant from Fiji, but his whole intention, he was young as well, like 24, and he's like, I want to get financially free by 35. And then he's like, from 35 to 65, I'm going back to the islands, and I'm going to become an engineer and start a civil engineering company over there to bring new roads and better transport and things like that to his local community from where he grew up. And obviously throughout, you know, all of the Pacific Islands. And I think that's just beautiful, right? Like we have the fortune to work with people that align with us from a values perspective, that are doing this stuff not to get rich themselves, to have choices themselves, but to be able to give back and help other people.
Oh, pretty much everyone we work with, their intention for financial freedom is not for more. They just want to figure out the path of least resistance to getting themselves financially free to the level that they need, whether that's $100,000 of passive income a year, whether that's $500,000 of passive income. Pretty much the reason they're doing that is to step away from their job to do something for other people. It could be as simple as helping their unwell parents to move in with them, buy a house for their cousins or brothers or something that have never had those opportunities. And nearly everyone that we work with has these bigger picture goals that have nothing to do with property and everything to do with why they want financial freedom, because it's freeing up their time to do better things with that time and just meaningful things with that time.
And it has such a compound effect, and you don't need to wait until you're financially free to have a positive impact on others as well, because something that we do within Pumped On Property for the small number of clients that we work with each month is we teach them how to become a property investor. Because just like everything in life, there's a system and a process to allow you to become a successful investor. So we share all the intellectual property that we've learned from buying almost $500 million worth of real estate with all of our clients. And we teach them how to become a better investor. We teach them how to identify the right markets at the right time, the right suburbs within those markets, the right properties within those suburbs. We help them build their team of advisors. We give them a strategy to work towards in the longer term future. And, this enables people to have a much deeper understanding for property investing. And what a lot of our clients have become after being through the process of working with Pumped On Property is a mentor for their friends and family in their life. So, a great example of this is my mate Davo. He has bought 3 investment properties now in Brisbane. A lot of experience, but he works as a liney down in Sydney for Energy Australia or Ausgrid, whatever they're called these days. And what he's become, because he's invested for about 6 or 7 years now, is a mentor to his colleagues and to his family and his friendship group as well. So whenever people have questions about property investing or the economy and things like that, they come to Josh, to Davo, because he understands this at a much deeper level to other people, and he can give that non-biased opinion and idea and perspective about his experiences. So you can pay it forward a lot quicker when you do know these things. And it's, a nice thing, because we do have an abundant mindset. Like, we're not in this to just help ourselves. We're here to help the community, to help everybody that we possibly can. And, if you can pay it forward in any which way to educate other people, to motivate them to start getting into it, then, hopefully this compound effect will work and enable more people to get out of the rat race and allow more people to have freedom of choice to do what they were truly to put on this planet to do.
Yeah, I love that. Like, Davo's a great example, like not only for being a great guy, being in a position to pay it forward with what he's learned over the last few years, but he also is like the type of guy who's delayed the gratification through this property journey. So he still rents in Sydney because that's where he wants to live. That's where his career is. But over the last 7 years that he's bought with us, they've had 2 kids in 3 years, not even, 2 kids in 2 years. They've still had a family, gotten married, built this beautiful life for themselves. They continue to rent because they wanted to set themselves up, delay that gratification on buying their own home. And now he's given himself like amazing foundations because of property investing here in Brisbane, and given him and his family choices for down the line, which I just love. Like, he's a great guy. He's done some great things, and obviously he's now in a position to help his friends do the same when and if they ask about it.
Yeah, I guess this is why we're in it, right? Like, this is why we're in property, because it's a tangible asset. We believe that all economic gains in society end up back in the land values. So the show should go on while we live like this. It's all about creating choices to have more freedom in our life and, to do what we were really meant to do, which I don't think we really get that opportunity in this society, because, we're just forced to work so hard just to keep a roof over our heads. But if you can work smarter, not harder, and delay that gratification and choose to set yourself up for the future before you start to, get into those principal places of residence and things like that, it's one way of doing it at the end of the day.
And we're really fortunate that what we do is in alignment with our values, getting to help other people, getting to live a balanced life ourselves, where we are in a position to surf and move and spend time with our family and do all those things we love, and still put a lot of our time and energy into helping other people and using property as that vehicle to do so. But yeah, like I love what we do. It's been such a big year. I love that we have been able to speak to so many amazing people and bring on 2024 and the new clients that we get to work with next year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to everybody and Happy New Year. 2024 is going to be a big year. So, make sure you sit down, you do your planning, you set your intention, you set your goals for the year. Try and make them more achievable, try and make them more realistic. I see so many people that set these goals at the beginning of the year that are so large and so lofty that they're almost self-sabotaging and it's something that you're not going to achieve. So try and reverse engineer the big goals back to little micro goals that you can work on week in and week out. For example, if you're wanting to get into the property market but you don't yet have the deposit, maybe your micro goal is to save a certain amount of money every single week, to work on paying yourself first and change the way that you live so you can start to build up those deposits a little bit more. Maybe you want to dive into some research and learn more about property investing. So maybe you go out there and buy some property investment books like Mastering the Australian Housing Market by John Lindemann and The Secret Wealth Advantage by Akhil Patel. Maybe you subscribe to CoreLogic, RP Data and SQM to get real-time updates on what's going on in the market. Set those micro goals and create those daily rituals and habits that are getting you a little bit closer to where you want to be. I've got this meaning here that I like to live my life by at the moment. This is my number one motto for life, and it's a Japanese concept called Kaizen, which is always seek to improve all areas of your life. Even small changes can add up and make a big impact over time. So thanks so much for listening, guys. Go out there and smash your goals for 2024.
Woo! That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Getting cool, bro. Yeah.
Oh, sweaty. So sweaty. Oh, that's good. That's so nice, eh? Oh.